afternoon, morning, evening. Welcome to Mission Podcast, WrestleMania 41 preview and predictions with myself, Hazza Haroon, Carpe Diem, and Danny. Guys, it's WrestleMania season, but I'm not happy, man. I'm not happy for some reason. Like, I don't feel fulfilled like I did last Mania, the Mania before. It just doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. Literally before the podcast started, by the way, I said, "Oh, WrestleMania is next Saturday, isn't it?" And then you guys are like, "No, it's this weekend." I'm thinking, what the hell? Carpe, kick us off with that, man. I'm not even faking it, bro.
Listen, as soon as I found out The Rock wasn't wrestling on this Mania, my hype immediately died in it, I'll be real. But I think we were all complaining about the build to WrestleMania before Elimination Chamber. And then obviously we had that Cena heel turn, and you thought, oh, it's going to be so good now, it's going to be so interesting. And it hasn't really made a difference, has it? The Cena heel turn to the hype for Mania. We'll get more into the Cody Cena build, but yeah, I agree with you, Hazard, man. It just feels really lackluster this year. There's no hype. Night one, we're going to talk about it in a bit. Night one's dreadful. I can't lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same with you two. Before the Rumble, people were really hyped. They were billing this as one of the biggest Royal Rumbles ever. Roman, Punk, Rollins, Drew, all the names you had in the Rumble. Potentially a Rock surprise entrance in the Rumble, and then you have the Rumble. To a certain point, it's good. Some people don't like Jey as a winner. Some people do. That's debatable. Then you go into Elimination Chamber season. No one's thought of a John Cena heel turn. We get that. I'll be like, okay, he is gonna pick up now, and John Cena's barely turned up. He's turned up, I think, 3 weeks out of the 7, 8 maybe. You don't want as just night two main event. You've got to have the challenger, especially a heel Cena, turn up more often than he did. That's definitely derailed some of the momentum going into WrestleMania, and some of the matches haven't really been built together. We'll talk about the matches, but something like War Raiders v New Day, that's a Raw main event. Even something like LA Knight v Jacob Fatu, that's not screamed WrestleMania. That's another SmackDown United States Championship main event. So yeah, I feel like Triple H has fumbled the ball this year with the card. Some of the matches I'm hyped for, one of them being Jey Uso being Gunther. I'm gonna be hyped when Jey Uso wins that belt. I'm hyped for Rollins, Punk, Roman with the Heyman stuff. I think Seth should we talk about it, but even with the Cody Cena match, I think when the match actually happens, we'll be hyped for it. We'll be into it. I do think we're going to get a big angle. Triple H normally delivers in all his pay per views and his WrestleManias. Last year he delivered, 39 he delivered. This year, hopefully, he delivered. But yeah, the build really hasn't been as good as people thought it'd be post pre Rumble or even pre Chamber.
Yeah, 100%.
Can
Like,
can I just say something about the
go
build
on.
for this year's Mania?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Mania 39, the build was good, I'd say. Who was still in charge then? Right, technically. Vince McMahon. And WrestleMania 40, the build was amazing because the storylines were still from the Vince era with the Bloodline and Cody. And look, this year there's been no Vince involved, no nothing. And look at the build. Just some food for thought, people. Triple H, I'm onto you, mate. You are an absolute fraud. You're on fraud watch.
Just to touch on Triple H's weekly booking, I don't know if you guys watched NXT back in the day, but his pay per views would always be 5 out of 5. All the takeovers, he'd smash it out the park. There'd be some of the best pay per views ever watched. The weekly show wasn't really that good. It was mid. People would still watch it, of course, because NXT was the best thing going back then. The main roster was not good, but his pay per views would always bang, and that's the main thing. If your pay per views bang, they leave a good taste in people's mouths. But
Yeah, no, hundred
yeah,
percent. But 100%. But at the same time, like with an NXT crowd, you're kind of catering towards a certain audience. Where wrestling is where you cater to wrestling fans, whereas
yeah,
a
of
lot of
course.
people like to watch WWE for the entertainment aspect, and obviously that wrestling as well. Um, but some of the matches on the card, like there are other superstars that could have potentially been better to be on there. Like, you've got the World Tag Team Championship match, you said with the War Raiders versus the New Day. We've literally had the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I don't know what that championship's called nowadays, but that roster of DIY Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, and obviously the Champion Street Profits, Umberto and Angel Garza, like, those are the kinds of superstars that you want to see in a ladder match.
Yeah.
Like, we've got no ladder match there. No ladder match at Mania. That's woke nonsense. Like, that was the perfect time to have it because that's the better tag division. Yet we're going for War Raiders versus the New Day. And, like, even the New Day's heel turn, like, their heel turn hasn't really been properly capitalized on. There's not been much heat on that. I don't know. I just think the entire application of what Triple H has done, in regards to the matches that are on the card, it just doesn't make sense. Like, we even got Lyra Valkyria, like the women's intercontinental champion, in a tag team match when she could be defending that belt at WrestleMania. That's what the women's mid card titles are for, to be defended at Mania, and they're not. But it just makes no sense. Like, it just doesn't. It boggles my mind, to be honest.
This is Triple H. This is all Triple H's fault. Why on earth would you introduce so many championships? Do you know what I mean? If you can't get them all the equal screen time, there's no point in doing it. Stop catering for the flipping IWC. Triple H is just an absolute mark. Another thing I want to talk about, Danny, you made the point that Triple H's weekly shows weren't good on NXT, but his pay-per-views delivered. And what's the difference between that and AEW? We cook AEW so much, we think, because they only just put on good matches on the pay-per-view and they think, oh, that's how you run a business. But you were saying Triple H does the same thing. So what makes him so different from Tony Khan?
I'm so glad the mayor isn't here.
Yeah,
Too busy ghosting.
I agree with what Coppin think. For a product like WWE, where sometimes the weekly shows have to deliver to a good, standard, I feel like it hasn't. But especially with the Netflix era, I think Netflix has barely had any bad shows. The Raws on Netflix have been good. One thing I'll say is they have been lacking star power at times. Talk about last year's big build. We had Rock there, we had Roman there, we had Cody there. That was all on Raw. This year we'd get one segment between Punk and Rollins, and then you'll have your mid carders like Penta, AJ, Gable, all of them competing. So yeah, one thing I'd say is the star power's been lacking. I, I don't know if I could blame Triple H for that though, because Rock turns up when he wants to. Roman sometimes turns up when he wants to. Yeah.
The amount of excuses people make for Triple H, even without The Rock being on this card, he could have done a way better job at building this Mania. But everyone just wants to scapegoat The Rock, man. It's just a joke at this point. But let's move on, yeah. Just before we go into the card, I just want to say one thing, yeah. Why on earth is The Weeknd the official theme for WrestleMania for the 6th, 7th year in a row? It's an absolute disgrace. Listen, I don't like The Weeknd, innit? I think he's the most overrated artist of all time. He's a B-Tech Michael Jackson, yeah? And men, this is a message to men who listen to The Weeknd, yeah? You're a bit fruity, I can't lie. As Drake said, they play The Weeknd's music where they have a little bit more pride in it. So yeah. But listen, get pop music away from wrestling. I grew up with rock music and wrestling.
I
you know what I mean? But no. If you want to go down the rap route, I don't mind. But the only rapper you can get for WWE is the Mr. Flow Rider, man. He's the only rapper that I will tolerate in WWE. The rest of them can do one, innit? But yeah, fuck The Weeknd. Yeah, let's delve into the card, shall we?
Bro,
Yeah, let's do that. Carpe's got his clip there. He's got another viral clip there.
Those are my genuine thoughts on The Weeknd. I do not like.
No, that's fair.
bro, the run of songs they had from I think 26 to 32 was generational. They had I Made It, Invincible, I'm Coming Home, Written in the Stars, bro. And now we just get Weekend every year. I mean, come on, switch it up. I mean, I know he's getting paid big bucks, yeah, but the company, but come on, we just want to see some variation, some different.
Is it just me, or does every single song from the weekend sound the exact same? I don't get the hype. I don't
Well,
get the
the
hype
same beat.
Can we actually just talk about WrestleMania 41 as opposed to the weekend? I mean, I know WrestleMania is happening on the weekend, but can we just carry on with it, please? Okay, we're going into match one, night one. Yeah, main event Jey Uso opening the card against the World
No, he's
Heavyweight
not.
Champion. He
No, he's
is?
not.
I mean,
He's opening
I,
it?
I don't think it's been confirmed.
Okay, nothing's been confirmed, but can we just talk about it anyway? Because Jey Uso isn't main eventing. So, main event Jey Uso is not main eventing WrestleMania Night 1, but he is on the card challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. Guys, what are we saying?
And can you guys give me the apology that you guys owe me now? You remember when Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and I was saying this is a big mistake, and you two specifically were saying, "Oh, stop being negative. Jey Uso is winning. It's a new winner. Why are we complaining?" This is why. Nobody cares about this world title match. I don't care.
No,
You
hang
guys
on.
care about it?
Hang on. In the last couple of weeks, people have started to care about it so much more because Jimmy's been involved, right?
Yep.
I said Jey Uso winning. I said Jey Uso winning was a good thing because it was a shock factor. He doesn't necessarily have to win at WrestleMania for it to be a good Rumble winner. Like, nothing wrong with that. You say it would be a waste of a Rumble win. It wouldn't be, because then you either having Gunther establish himself as a ruthless world champion, despite the fact that he's had his issues against Damian Priest and everyone else in between. This is him establishing himself and saying, you know what, screw anyone that comes my way, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them. Or you have that babyface to heel. You have Jey Uso overcome Gunther. Like, that's something special. That's something you want. That's something you want to watch. That's what wrestling is for. I still stand by the fact that it was a great decision to make. It wasn't something that we all saw it was going to happen, but I wasn't disappointed when it happened, for sure. I think it's not as big a mistake as what people make it out to be.
Till
I don't think.
till this day, I'm gonna still say Jey Uso is a great Royal Rumble winner. I think him beating Gunther is a great story. When this feud started, I think a few weeks ago, and Jay was still in his happy era, all eating, I was like, okay, where are they going with this? In the last few weeks, they've brought Jimmy in. When Jimmy comes in, when Jay and Jimmy are together, they create magic. They brought the emotional aspect out of Jimmy and Jay. Jay's promo last week was amazing. It proper sold the match. He was like, "I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna die." It felt like a promo that we needed, and I can't believe how stupid the crowd was. He was talking about his brother dying, and the crowd was eating. Bro, sometimes American crowds piss me off. But yeah, I think.
Yeet.
Well, yeah, I think in the last few weeks they've built it really well. They've needed these big angles to, get some hype from the match. We all know Jay's gonna win. There's no way they're gonna have Gunther beat Jay once again. Jay's gonna win. It's gonna be an amazing moment. The whole crowd's is gonna be an amazing pop. And I don't really want Jay to have a long reign. Maybe what, 2 months, maybe even a month, and have him lose to someone credible.
I kind of
I
want him
think
to lose at the same. I kind of want him to lose. I know it sounds really sad, but even if it's him losing, then I don't know. He either wins now or he doesn't win ever.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. That's the way I see it. But at the same time,
I
how does Gunther come back from this? Where does Gunther go? He's big. He's the biggest. He's bigger for the company than Jey Uso, because you can build your roster around someone like Gunther. You can't build your roster around someone like Jey Uso.
See,
Gunther can still hold the belt for another year, and no one will give a flying shit, man, because he's someone that you can build a storyline against. You can have anyone challenge him, and it looks good.
see,
I mean, straight.
I don't think Gunther loses anything from losing to Jay. Since Gunther's joined the main roster, he's been champion for, let's say, 90% of the time. He was RC champion for a good, I mean, he broke the record for the longest reign. He's been world champion since SummerSlam. He's had, what, about 6 months where he hasn't been champion. Him losing the belt, I don't think does anything to him. To Jay, though, if Jay loses the belt, what does Jay go to do next? Does he just go back to a tag team with Jimmy? I feel like if Jay has the belt right now, there's I mean, one match I'd like to see Jey Uso v Sami Zayn. I mean, I think that would be an intriguing match, having Sami chase his first world championship when Jay's already won his first championship.
I suppose you can hot potato. I mean, the only way what would happen with Jey Uso is you can hot potato the championship that way. You can give it
Listen,
to
I don't want Jey
Sami Zayn.
Uso
Sami
to.
Zayn loses it to Drake, Drew McIntyre, etc. That's the way it could go.
I
The
don't
other way,
want Jey
the
Uso
other,
to
the,
hold the belt for long, but I think the perfect scenario is Jacob Fatu squashing Jey Uso to win the belt, like a Brock Lesnar v John Cena SummerSlam 2014.
Can I say something? I disagree with you, Danny. I think Gunther can't afford a loss at this Mania.
yeah, I was just about to say that's two
He
manias
lost,
in a. Sorry,
he lost that last year's Mania, and I think the better story to do here is have Gunther just absolutely squash Jay, right? And you continue that storyline of Jay like not believing in himself, like he calls himself main event Jey Uso, but every time he gets to the main event, he fails to win it. And I'd actually build up to a storyline where Jey Uso wins the Money in the Bank later this year. I reckon that would be better. I don't know if you guys agree.
I don't think he should win it. I don't think he should
yeah.
bring Money in the Bank. I think there's two ways they could go about this. He loses to Gunther, then beats John Cena. That would get him over. That would get him more over than beating Gunther. Because John Cena's a mega heel right now. Because that would be quite cool. That would be quite cool. Jey Uso beating John Cena because Jey Uso knocked John Cena out of the Royal Rumble, and Jey Uso was the main reason why John Cena turned against everyone. That could be one way you could do it.
No, it's not. It's
They quite literally could. Jey Uso, aside from Cody Rhodes, is the biggest face in this company right now. Against John Cena, who is one of the biggest heels in the company right now, a full blown heel versus a full blown face. Like Jey Uso has no heel qualities about him. That could potentially happen. But you can see it doesn't scream obvious in your face, but they could lead down that line because John Cena was the reason why. Sorry, Jey Uso was the reason why John Cena turned. But anyway, I'm going with my prediction is I'm saying Gunther's gonna win. I don't know how he's gonna win, but he's just gonna win. He's gonna beat Jey Uso, and that's the story.
My prediction is Jey Uso wins. I think Gunther batters him for about 75% of the match. Jimmy Uso comes out. He's about to throw the towel in, but he doesn't. Jey Uso overcomes it and wins the championship.
I can't lie, yeah. I think Jimmy Uso is better than Jay. I'm not gonna lie. But I think it's criminal that Jimmy's not going to be on the card this year. I think they should have given him the US title. They should have done like a multi-man ladder match for the US title and Jimmy win it. But you know what I mean? You could have had a Jimmy and Jay moment, both holding the belts at the end of the night or whatever. And I would have had, I don't know why, Jacob Fatu versus Solo was like the direction they were heading in, and I've just gone with this. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But I'm gonna agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with Hazard. I think Gunther's gonna win.
Cool. We'll move on to the next match then. I'm just going through the night one matches as and when they come through. So we'll go to the next match. We'll go with Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I think this is pretty simple. Don't need to touch on this too much. I think Jade Cargill beats Naomi. And it starts Jade Cargill's push as a singles superstar on the roster. I don't think Naomi has a prayer in this match.
I think she
does.
I think she's doing well to build this match up. The both have, to be honest. I like the angle that came out Elimination Chamber. I feel like the quality of this match depends on Jade Cargill, if she really is, if she does live up to, what people think, how good she is. I don't see anything in her. I get why WWE signed her. I just don't think she's any good in ring, and the match will be like a 3-star match, maybe 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about the quality of the match. I think it's about how they push Jade Cargill on afterwards. I think Naomi is probably doing this as like, let's get Jade Cargill over, and then Naomi goes and tries to potentially screw over and over again. I think this will lead to a Hell in a Cell match, possibly later down the line. That's how they'll go about it. They will go about it that way. Yeah. It's WWE, come on, man. This is like a blood feud kind of thing. Like Naomi's jealous because Naomi's jealous of Jade Cargill. Naomi takes her out. Like, this is the way they lead it up, isn't it? It'll be like the first. I don't know. It might be the first women's Hell in a Cell match that has happened without the title. They'll probably do like that. So they're the first singles match without a title for a long, long time on WrestleMania. So I think I'll go with that. But I think Jade Cargill's winning this. Naomi wins the second match down the line. And they'll do a Hell in a Cell for the trilogy, similar to Punk and McIntyre.
I don't really care enough about this match to even give a prediction, to be honest. So let's just move on.
Fairs. Cool. We'll go with the next match: War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team Championships.
Again, I don't care about this match.
Neither do I. I just it'll be like one of those matches that happen after a big one. I think it will probably come after the first one, and it would just be like, okay, here it is. Enjoy the match. It'll be fun. And I think the New Day will just win. I think the New Day will win, and the New Day need this match. They need this win a lot if they're going to continue that heel persona. I think
I agree
I think
with
the New Day.
I agree with Hazza. I think New Day need this win. Just don't care about this match on WrestleMania. This could have been a Raw main event, and we'd all be fine with it. But yeah, I don't think New Day's heel turn has really been handled well. They've had a few backstage interviews, an angle here or there. They have a few matches. Yeah, but I do really think they need this win. If they don't win this, the heel turn's been a total flop. I mean, I don't think it's been great already, but putting the belt on them would at least legitimize them as a threat.
So with the New Day, obviously we're never ever gonna be able to see the Shield triple threat match at Mania, but I reckon maybe one day we could see a New Day triple threat at Mania if they build it right.
Well, you think Big E will come back? I think he's finished.
I think he's done as well, unless
Unfairly speaking. He can
if Big E's gonna come back, it'll be to screw over the New Day.
Yeah.
But I don't think he does it all, because if he were to, he would have come back at the Rumble. Actually, no, that's a lie. You know what? I don't think he comes back, and then the New Day just win.
You know, it's not big. This isn't a big enough match to do a moment like that, I think.
But it is WrestleMania. Like, that's, if you want WrestleMania moments, that's something that's there. I don't know. But I think the New Day take it. Let's move on. I'm quite interested. I'm quite interested in this match. I'm a bit invested in it, to be honest. I like the build to it. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
That's Chad Gable, right?
Chad Gable needs this win so bad.
Chad Gable.
I think
Chad Gable's on the card. Chad Gable's on the card. This El Grande Americano.
Yeah, El Grande Americano. He's getting this match before Chad Gable at WrestleMania. I think El Grande Americano debut. I think he'll be. He needs this over.
Do you know what I like? Do you know what I like about this gimmick? It's something. It's reminding me of Prime Vince McMahon. This is
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Chad Gable's got a win. El Grande Americano. And I think this is the start. If he beats a legend like Rey Mysterio, it's a huge thing for him, innit? Like, because he wasn't on the Mania card last year, he probably should have been. And this year he beats a legend in Mysterio. I mean,
yeah, but he was never in the WWE last year though, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm going against the grain, yeah, and I think they should make this a mask v mask match. Rey Mysterio wins and El Grande Americano.
They'll never make it a mask v mask match. So,
that would be amazing.
It ruins the integrity of like the lucha libres and stuff. And
he's not a lucha, is he really?
But if this was Vince, 100% you are seeing a mask v mask match. This is like, Vince don't care about this woke nonsense. Like, Vince will throw every book out the window, but it's not going to be a mask v mask match. I think Rey Mysterio, if you're going to have Rey Mysterio win, he's got to rip the mask off El Grande Americano, and then we're going to find Jason Jordan in there, bro. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going El Grande Americano. Carpe, who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going El Grande Americano.
I'm going Rey
And
Mysterio.
fair. Cool. Next match. We'll go with the US Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Um,
I think Jacob
right,
Fatu
this
has
is
to win this.
weird.
I think he has to win this though.
No. I agree, but I just think this is
But
like
yeah, it's been weird.
this is a really weird match to have actually taken place because I feel like I just feel like these are two superstars you'd see on like a SmackDown main event, like you said, and you'd be happy for it to happen there. They'll put a really good match on. Don't get me wrong. And LA Knight's been involved with the Bloodline for a long time, and he said, "Look, I don't want it to be part of my business. Not part of my business. Not part of my business." All of a sudden, it's something that he has to now deal with a lot, which makes it really interesting. I don't know. I just think Fatu. This is Fatu's win. Like it has to be unless Solo Sikoa screws Jacob Fatu, which I don't think happens because Fatu's not lost in a one-on-one match, has he?
Can't have him lose his first Mania.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can. LA Knight's in his career where he can lose, and he can still like.
I think it should just be a 5-minute squash match. Jacob Fatu just kills him.
Listen, I don't know if they've delayed Jacob v Solo, but it's kind of weird that that was the match that was meant to happen. I mean, yeah, I don't know whether it's the fact that the timing was there or they just don't rate Solo, and I think it might be that they just don't rate Solo. After his match against Roman, what has he done? Of no, he's done absolutely nothing, and I felt the company thought that okay, this may not be enough to, put him in a match against Jacob Fatu, and then the next best thing for Jacob was probably going for the mid card championship.
I don't even think it's that though. I think like Solo Sikoa's only purpose in the WWE so far has been involved in the bloodline. He's not done anything else afterwards, and therefore holds no significance whatsoever. Solo needs to go back and reinvent himself and become the Samoan Street Fighter or whatever he was, and just go away from this bloodline stuff. That kind of needs to die off now, I think, because there's nothing else there now. Because all of a sudden it will just be run like a beat. It'll run like the Judgment Day is just a really shitty faction that's just ran it. Like every faction has its shelf life. That bloodline has run its course completely. Like it's not even a joke.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I agree. But I think this match is very weird, man. It should have been a multi-man ladder match with Jimmy Uso winning the US title, and they should have done Jacob Solo. I feel really sorry for Solo, that, because me personally, I thought his run as the tribal chief was actually really funny and really good. I feel like people hate on him too much. I think he's got the potential to be a solid mid-carder in the WWE. And he deserves a match at Mania. I think it's harsh to leave him off, but
No, 100%. He plays the role really well. Like guys who've watched NXT, not me. I've never watched a single episode of NXT, but I've seen his matches, and he's still got plenty of potential, not just to be a solid mid carder. He's got the promo ability as well. He can really get the crowd against him. But he'd be a decent face as well. Not gonna lie. I think he can
it's
get
really
people.
funny, isn't it?
He can get people to like him. He can get people to like him quite easily. Because I think I remember the Rocks tried to get Solo singing, and that obviously never happened. But like he's the kind of person that you'd want to root for at the same time. People really like him.
What's that meme? Have you seen that meme when Solo's like shadowboxing? It's so funny.
Yeah.
I think what it is with Solo Sikoa. I feel like it's not his fault, but the Jacob Fatu has just come in and just completely overshadowed him, innit?
Yeah, no, 100%. This was always going to happen though. Jacob Fatu, like him being in the WWE is long overdue. He's beyond. He could. We were talking about dream matches like for WrestleMania. In the next year or two, Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. With Roman Reigns basically passing down the baton to Jacob Fatu would be as the next great Samoan in WWE would be quite fitting because he is that guy, Jacob Fatu. He on the mic, he's unreal. In ring, he's top three in the company, I think, just because of his size, way he moves, the power, the dominance, the aerial ability. He's top three in the company for me, and he's just got. If he doesn't, you got to pull the trigger on him now against LA Knight. LA Knight can afford this loss easily.
Yeah.
You could even put him in the world title picture after against John Cena and just have them two having a promo battle between the two of them. Like,
Whoa.
I know you
Mana's
don't
gonna
like.
get excited.
I know you do not like LA Knight at all, but LA Knight can afford the loss, and he can literally go back and go have back and forth with John Cena. That would be pretty cool. That's where you can afford that, I think.
Speaking of Amanat, that guy is probably flipping Vegas right now, living it up. It's a crime against humanity that he gets to go to Vegas and none of us are there.
Nah, man, it's alright, man. When Mania hits Wembley in 2056, we'll be there as unks. Front
I
of crowd,
can't
we are
believe
Shabakamis on and our full grown beards and grey hairs, fam. We are there, bro.
and channel my inner punk bro here. The fact that Amana is in Vegas and Carp is not in Sin City right now makes me sick. But yeah, let's move on, shall we?
So yeah, are we all in agreement that Jacob Fatu is winning
I
that
think
US
Jake
title?
winning, yeah.
Great. Okay, cool. Before we go on to the main event, we don't have any sponsors. I know it sounded like we were going to go for our sponsors, but we've got no sponsors. Can you got sponsors, please? We've got the women's championship match. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Now, this is actually a match I think everyone pretty much predicted would happen probably ever since Tiffany Stratton cashed in the Money in the Bank. Like this was the angle they were always going to go for. This was probably the only match you could have predicted around about November, December time when Tiffany Stratton cashed in, and you could have confidently tipped your cap on and said, "Yep, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This is happening at WrestleMania. Let's get it." And I feel like it's really it's got a lot to it. There's something about these two that made me think this is going to be fireworks, bro. This is going to be a really good match to watch.
I think this will be the second or third, maybe even second best match on the card. And the way they've built it, I think, has been, quite good. They had that promo 2-3 weeks ago where the both just, I mean, it was, I think it was last week, where the both just went off script and Charlotte started talking about, not Charlotte, Tiffany started talking about Charlotte's divorces. And I was like, whoa, is this, really heating up? And the angle they had on the last SmackDown was good as well. So yeah, I'm really actually hyped for this match more than I am for the other triple threat of women's between Rhea, Bianca, and Io. And I think both of them are amazing competitors. I think this could be one of the best matches in both nights, quite easily.
I think this could be without trying to jinx it or anything. This could be the best women's match in all of WrestleMania history. Just because it's got a lot, it's got a long way to go to beat Ripley versus Flair 2 years ago. But this could be a really really big. This could turn the tables. The only thing I don't like about the only thing I don't really like about the build up, it might sound a bit controversial. I don't like how Tiffany is the face. I wanted her to be the bratty kind of like tweener.
It's not her fault because look at the crowd. They fucking hate Charlotte.
That's what I was
No,
gonna say.
I know, but when she talks, it's like she's got that bratty tweener to her. I wanted her to like, when she was talking about like, oh, you're 0-3 in marriages. Ooh, I wanted to see more of that like initially.
Do you guys think?
You. Like you shouldn't wear that.
Do you guys think that angle was a shoot, or a work shoot?
I shoot.
Yeah, because Charlotte's reaction, she was pissed.
Bro, that's 100% a shoot. Because like, there's no way you say, "Oh, well, why is Kaiser in my DMs just as at random?" Like you
That's such a lie as well.
and then Kaiser plays in on it as well. That's crazy, man. Bro, where's Andrade when you need him? Oh, never mind, 0-3. Anyway,
Do you know why it was a shoot? Because as soon as Tiffany said it, the way she left that ring ASAP, or it looked like Charlotte wanted to fucking.
Bro, the crowd absolutely hates Charlotte. I remember her promo after she won the Rumble, and she came out as a babyface, trying to cut a babyface promo. The crowd was having none of it. They booed her, booed her, booed her, and I think the next week they were like, okay, this ain't gonna work as babyface. Let's turn her heel.
Do you think Charlotte is overhated though? I feel like
100%. She's 100%. Bro, she's 100%
think she is,
overhated. But the issue that she's got is the fact that she's got a surname that is
Yeah.
tied to Ric Flair #1. She's just like she's just a champion competitor. She is the best of the four horsewomen, four or whatever it is, the four horsewomen, whatever. She's clear in terms of like women's competitors because she's able to take as much time off as she wants and still be able to deliver match wise in the ring. And looks like she hasn't skipped a beat, and she can still really evoke so much emotion out of a championship match. Like Becky Lynch is like, I'm the man, and you're gonna tell you, like, bruv, we get it, man. Or big time Becky Two Belts. Like Charlotte Flair is just Charlotte Flair, full stop. She's the queen. She's nothing else.
You know
And
what
that's
it is
something
with
that you can't
Charlotte?
change.
Because it's people will always hate on what they think is a nepo baby. To be fair, she is a nepo baby, innit? Like,
But she's a damn good. She's a damn
she's
good.
good.
Nepo baby,
She's actually good in it. She can actually back it up. Yeah, I think that's the main reason why she's hated. But yeah, I think Tiffany's gonna win this. She's the new star. It makes sense. Charlotte doesn't need it at all, really. But yeah, that's why I think Tiffany's gonna win.
Why do you think Charlotte will be happy putting Tiffany over?
She won't be, but she hasn't really got a choice, bro. The crowd's just gonna shit all over her if she wins it.
It makes it, but in turn, doesn't that make it more?
That's
Does
why I
that
think
make
Charlotte will win,
Tiffany
yeah.
even more propelled up for the next time they face each other? Because I feel like it's not just this feels like the first stop between the Stratton and Flair rivalry. And if you have Tiffany Stratton win the belt, sorry, not win the belt, defend the belt successfully, then that just says that Tiffany's perfect and Charlotte Flair's wrestling. I think Charlotte Flair should win the belt. Tiffany Stratton then has to come back and challenge Charlotte Flair because Tiffany cashed in. Remember, she never actually outright won the belt. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now imagine if she's the challenger, goes up against the Queen, and Tiffany's got to do it on her time.
Well, we are spending way too long talking about this.
Also,
You are taking no, but this is a really good match to talk about, man. You and your hate, bro. I'm going with Charlotte Flair.
I'm going Charlotte.
TS would be proud of me.
Yeah, Charlotte too.
I'm going Tiffany.
Also, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but last year's Mania felt like you were ending feuds. This year doesn't feel like that. There's a lot of matches where you could go into the next pay-per-view and they could still be feuding with each other. And I think Mania should be, a pay-per-view where feuds come to an end and you move on to the next chapter. With the Punk Rollins Roman, I think you still got Punk Roman and Roman Seth you can still do. Even with the Cody Cena, I think this feud will carry on. Even with like the IC four-way, you still got the Judgment Day you can carry on. So I don't think like last Mania where you were ending feuds, this year you're just really carrying them on.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And moving on to one of the matches that you said, the Saturday night's main event. We've got Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and CM Punk, who I believe is walking in with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I mean,
So stupid.
That was the favorite final. Yeah.
Yeah, that I can't believe that the favor is that, and it makes me disappointed in the angle that it's been taken in.
They're
Why
fighting
is that the favor?
They basically, Roman and Punk are fighting over fat, bald, slimy Jewish man. That's what the feud has been so far.
Listen, this ain't even me glazing Seth here, but he's been the MVP of this feud once again. The promo he had on Raw with Paul Heyman, I think, is easily the best angle they've done in this feud. It makes me more convinced that Seth will win. Punk and Roman will cancel each other out, which will lead to their match at SummerSlam. I don't think one of the most stupid theories I've heard is that Seth's gonna join Heyman. I think Heyman still is loyal to both of them, but he doesn't know who to pick. In that chaos, I think Seth will just win and he'll basically prove both of them right. They are two of his biggest rivals. If he just wins that match, I think Seth needs it more right now. Punk and Roman don't need it. Roman especially does not need another Mania main event win. Punk, I think the angle they did with at the cage match where Seth won, but he didn't actually pin Punk. I think Seth pinning Punk here will make sense. You can do Punk Roman at SummerSlam, and you can do Roman with Seth next Mania, where Roman eventually does finally pin Seth.
I can't disagree with any of what you said. I think that's the way I would take it. I think Rollins 100% needs it more than these two. Because he just needs it. He just needs it. Like he went up against Logan Paul at Mania 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Then was in the tag match, lost that, played a really big role in that tag match. Obviously then lost against Drew McIntyre last Mania. And then I can't remember what happened. What was it, 38? What happened in 38?
Cody.
Cody. The one before that, Cesaro.
The one before that, Kevin Owens. His last
to win, bro.
His last Mania win was Logan Paul, but the last big one was Brock Lesnar at 35.
That's what I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Seth needs this the most, and I think it makes more sense for him to actually... It makes more sense for Seth to win. I think if he's going to pin anyone, I think it's got to be Reigns, man. I think Reigns gets pinned, and then who does Heyman walk? I think the real question is, I think it's not about who wins. It's who does Heyman walk out with at the end? Who does Heyman go with?
I think it's Punk.
Because that's
what I think. Yeah, I think me personally, I get it's going to be a great match and whatever. Yeah, I'm not a fan of how they built it, and I still stand by the fact. Yeah, a triple threat main eventing Mania without a title on the line is criminal.
It's
I don't care what anyone says. And I personally, if I was booking this, I would have done Punk winning the Rumble, Gunther Punk for the title at Mania, and then I would have just had Roman Seth singles match. That's what I would have personally done. But we're not getting that, unfortunately, so I'm going to give my prediction. I agree with you guys. I think Seth needs this way more. I don't think Punk would have a problem with it because he's just happy to be in the main event. He's finally getting his main event. That was a beautiful moment, by the way, when Heyman and Punk are like crying. That I really like that. But yeah, I think Punk's beaten Seth, so he doesn't really need. I think I agree with Danny. I think Rollins should in Punk because Punk's got one over on him at the Netflix show. Wait, did the steel cage that didn't have a finish, did it?
Seth technically won because Roman
dragged him out.
Yeah. But he never pinned him, so I think
Reigns.
I think Rollins pinning Roman would be poetic, to be honest. It would have been like what 10 or 11 years since they both faced each other at Mania or something. Well, not
10 years,
in that triple threat. Rollins pins Roman Reigns again, and that leads into that, that singles match.
42.
You know what?
A year later, yeah.
Danny, you said you don't like the theory that Seth will join Heyman. I don't know. I think it would be good. I think it would be sick.
I don't know.
I don't know. Where's the story logic in that though? Because
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of babyface Seth. I think Seth's 10 times better as a heel. And I think it would be a shocking Mania moment. And you know what? It's not out of character for Paul Heyman to do something snaky like this. That guy's just a born snake, isn't he? I personally think it's a good idea. I wouldn't mind it. But also, I liked your scenarios, Danny, where Rollins, Roman, Punk, and Heyman are all so confused with whose loyalty lies where, that Seth just takes advantage and picks up the victory. I can see something like that happening as well. Also, but yeah, my final prediction for this one, Seth's going to win.
Yeah, I think Seth wins too.
Yeah, Seth wins. Who's Heyman walking out of? Who's Heyman walking with out of Mania?
I think
he's going to do this. This is what's going to happen, yeah? Proper Hollywood moment, yeah? You can have Roman and Punk on either side of the ring on their knees, yeah? And then you can have Heyman just stand in the middle, crying. And then, you know what he does? He doesn't pick anyone. He just walks off. And then Roman and Punk
even better, Seth stomps Heyman in the middle of the ring. Punk attends to him. Roman's in the corner looking at him, bro. Something like that would be amazing. But I don't know if he's gonna eat a stomp, bro. Stomp's deadly finisher.
Yeah, but what you call it? He's been put through a table, so let's not. And he's taken a Samoan spike a few times. Paul Heyman would take that bullet just to move the storyline forward.
Oh yeah, that was.
So yeah, look.
That's
And
night one.
also remember, he did spare Paul Heyman from a stomp. So either does he stomp him or does he take him? But then again, where does Seth go straight into the world title scene? Does he build his own sort of like little faction? I'd love to see something like that happen.
During that promo on Raw, Seth did say, "Now you owe me a favor." So I don't know what way that goes. That of course that logically leads to Seth Heyman joining Seth if that's the favor he owns. But I don't know what they do.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to night 2. So this is the Sunday. We're going to kick it off with the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship between Ripley, Sky, and Belair. Rhea Ripley using politics to get into that match. But I don't mind it. I think this is a really good quality triple threat match, and you've basically got the you've got 5 of the best women's superstars in the company right now, aside from Liv Morgan, all in world title matches, which is Belair, Ripley, Sky, and then you've got Stratton and Flair. This has got I can't predict who's winning this match, to be honest. I can't tell you who's going to win it. I literally can't tell you. If I was going to... you can predict, and you'd be wrong, I think. Obviously, that's not the way the prediction goes, but...
I've not really been feeling this feud as much as other people have. But I think Bianca wins.
Again, I don't care about this match. But I think they're gonna give it to Rhea Ripley because she's the biggest female star in the company. Just let me touch on women's wrestling. I don't watch it because it's haram and I lower my gaze when the women come on screen. You know what I mean? And I turn it off when they come on my screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna play that card and then watch men wrestle in tights, fam. Yeah, say nothing.
That's hello.
Say nothing. Yeah, cause we were pulling these cards out now. Yeah, it's taken us what we've been recording since January, and you said this now. Yeah, say no more. I think Asuka comes back, screws over Io Sky, and Bianca Belair wins.
I think Bianca should also turn heel. The crowd, especially in recent weeks, have been booing her. It's just logical to turn her heel.
The only reason they've been booing her, though, is because everyone loved Io Sky. And Bianca Belair... it was European crowds, so no one's really been booing her, to be honest. I think she's just not she's not more over than Ripley or Sky. Like, she's still a big face. Would love to see her turn heel, though. That would be pretty... but yeah, I'm going with Io Sky. Sorry, I'm going with Bianca Belair. Danny's gone with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
And Carpe's going with Rhea Ripley, even though he does women's wrestling. Anyway, second match. Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm not feeling this one, to be honest.
It's just one of those ones. It's going to be a good graps in it, but that's it, really.
Yeah, good graps. Good graps. There'll be a really crazy moment in there that like goes viral or something. I'd love to.
Did AJ win last year's Mania against LA Knight? Was it LA Knight?
LA Knight won.
Yeah, I think AJ Styles is going to win this, innit? Logan won at last year's Mania, so he can afford a loss. I reckon AJ Styles wins.
I think if this is age, I think this could be potentially AJ Styles. Well, how many years did he say he's got? He says he's going to start wrestling at 50, and he's got 2 years now.
2026, yeah. Well, that's next June, actually, I think. He said. So not long left.
Yeah. Yeah, so this... I think AJ Styles, please WWE, please Triple H, in his last year and a half or so of wrestling, can he use this guy properly? I'm sick of the way they used AJ Styles. It's terrible. It's a crime.
They need to have him. They need to. Then you know what it is. I would have loved for him to have won the Royal Rumble, and him versus Gunther would have been one of the greatest. That would have been a crazy good match.
They were building to AJ v Penta. I have no idea why you just scrapped that.
Or Styles versus freaking Breaker when Breaker threw the shirt and Styles caught it, man. That would
Oh
have been
yeah,
so.
that's what I
And
meant.
that match
Breaker,
would
not
have been
Penta. Yeah.
crazy good. That'd have been crazy good. You would have had Logan Paul versus Penta would have been. That would have been a better match, in my. Not to disrespect Styles, but I think that would have made for a better match. Penta, coming in versus Logan Paul, you could have quite easily. Yeah, I don't know. I hope AJ Styles wins this. That's my prediction. I think Styles wins.
I think Styles wins.
Yeah, well, what we got next?
We'll go to the Fatal 4-Way. Penta versus Dominik Mysterio versus Finn Balor, and then the champion Bron Breakker. I don't know how this Fatal 4-Way came about. Someone explain it to me.
I don't know either. It's just one of them ones. Get everyone on the card in it. Really, let's be honest. I think it's going to be a good match though. It'll be a very entertaining match. Lots of near falls and like cool spots. Now, who should win is a difficult one because one part of me is saying Bron Breakker should retain. And then there's another part of me saying that, bruv, get the title on Dirty Dominik Mysterio.
Those are the only two winners I can think of. Like Finn Balor.
Maybe Penta. To be fair, I could see maybe Penta because he is like they are building him as their next big lucha star. But I think Penta's very sloppy in the ring tomorrow. I don't really rate him that much. I think Dominik Mysterio. Give this guy the keys, bro. The amount of heat this guy generates. This year he needs to get into the main event scene as a top heel, and yeah, either have him win the IC title here, or if you're not going to give him the IC title, he's my pick for this year's Money
in the Bank. Yeah, 100%. And I think he needs to cash in on. If Jey Uso does win the title, I think it would be so sick if he cashed in on Jey Uso. That would be crazy.
You know what? If John Cena was still a babyface, I would have said him cashing in on Cena.
Yeah, 100. I would have said all day.
Yeah.
The way this match came was they were all just having matches with each other on Raw, and then last week Adam Pearce just decided to announce a Fatal 4-Way.
That's so awful. Bro, there's no support succession, man.
I think okay, copy you.
But you know what it is? I'm thinking, yeah. If Bron Breakker does that, are they gonna push him straight into the main event scene afterwards?
No, it's not too early for him. It's absolutely not too early
for him.
He does not need to hold on to the Intercontinental title for that long now. I think there's so many different angles you can take with Bron Breakker. Like you could propel him into the main event scene, and you can put him against anyone right now. And you can have it. And if Gunther does retain, you could literally have Breakker versus Gunther at SummerSlam, and it would be the most unreal match.
Okay, the way
this is my plan.
Yeah, go on.
Alright, you go, Dad.
Okay, the way I think this is going to go is Dominik Mysterio wins. He's champion. They break up Judgment Day. We get Dominik Mysterio v Finn Balor. Shout out Ume. And Finn Balor finally wins some gold. That's the way I think it's going to go.
I don't know, man. I think Mysterio retains. Then retains again. Beats. He pins Finn. I think he pins Finn Balor. Them two have a match at Backlash or something. Mysterio wins again. And then you kind of you can turn Balor face because everyone would like Balor to win. And then Mysterio is just he just knows how to get it done. And then you could probably have Mysterio versus Dominik versus Rhea on another pay-per-view. Mysterio wins, and then he loses it somewhere down the line. Not to Sheamus. I think Sheamus should win it against a bigger superstar. But that would be pretty cool for Sheamus to win the IC title at some point. But I think I'm all in on Dominik Mysterio winning this match, to be honest.
Me too.
I'm all in, bro. I think he wins.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm going to say Dirty Dom gets the job done and wins. And this is my plan, right? Bron Breakker loses this, and then you build up to King of the Ring. Bron Breakker wins the King of the Ring, and he challenges Gunther or Jey Uso, whoever has the title at SummerSlam. And Dominik has a short reign with the IC title, drops it to, I don't know, Finn or Penta, whoever. And then Dom wins Money in the Bank. That's my plan.
Great plan.
I think Dominic Mysterio is really underrated. Like
He's so good.
the company trusts to put him against all the big stars. I've seen him against Punk on house shows, AJ Styles even, Seth Rollins, just
Gunther. How many
Gunther
times
even.
has he gone
Yeah,
against Gunther?
exactly. So I think
He's just hilarious as well. He's
yeah,
so funny.
amazing heel.
Yeah,
You
100%.
know what
You
it
know
is
what
though?
it is?
I've been kind of
He'd be the best. He'd be one of the best faces ever as well if he turned face.
eventually,
Yeah,
yeah.
eventually.
But I think you have to keep him as a heel
Oh
right now.
yeah,
He's so
But
good.
like he'll for the next 3 to 4 years. Honestly, oh my.
And he needs Rey Mysterio's retirement match has to be against Dom, and Dom has to retire him. The heat would be amazing.
Because he's the only one. Because he's the only one that could. He's never beaten Rey Mysterio 1-on-1, has he?
But yeah, with Dom, I think I've been kind of upset with how they've booked him. They've been treating him as like the middleman between Rhea and Liv, and it's like this guy's good enough on his own.
Yeah, but I think this is where he steps up though, because
Yeah.
he's been given the match. It's a fatal four-way. He doesn't have to pin Bron Breakker to win it. He can literally just screw over Finn Balor. That's what would break up the Judgment Day. It turns Liv Morgan into a big. He gives Liv Morgan mega heat. Not that she already not that she doesn't already have it. He gives Dom Mysterio that mega heat, and then the two new power couple or whatever. That is literally just like the most hated. I'm all in on Dom Mysterio winning this. As I'm glad you all are as well. But anyway, speaking of Liv Morgan, the final women's match on the card, we'll talk about it as well. I'll use Carpe's words. He'll probably just want to get it out of the way. Is the women's tag team match between Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and they will be taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
I think Liv and Raquel win. Bayley turns heel on Lyra, and they feud into the summer. Simple.
I think that's going to happen. I think I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, next match.
Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. No story.
I'm not even gonna give a prediction. I don't care about that match.
Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. Next match. That's gonna be a really short segment. Imagine someone's gonna turn up to Mission Podcast and be like, "I'd love to hear what they're gonna say about the women's tag team match." And you got car pages doing up roly poly signs of "Get this kid gone." Sin City Street Fight. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, and now I'm kind of sad that there haven't been many stipulations on the card. But this is. I was a bit disappointed when this feud actually kicked off. Like I felt like it should have been something else. Like Drew McIntyre should have been on the title scene against Cody Rhodes. John Cena should have been going against Gunther or whatever. But I kind of don't mind this. I like the angle they've gone with, how they've done it. But I think Drew McIntyre needs to win. He has to win.
100%.
He's been in so many big feuds at the moment and has come out on the losing side every time. He was Superstar of the Year last year. Did everything well with Seth Rollins, the Bloodline, whenever he had the chance. Then CM Punk took a hiatus, comes back, tries to get on the world title scene, gets declined. He needs this a lot more than Damian Priest. And Damian Priest is, he's Triple H's favourite son. I ain't gonna lie, he's Triple H's favourite son. He can come back from this and do whatever he wants. Drew McIntyre needs this so bad. So bad. He hasn't... He lost at Mania last year. I don't care what anyone said. He lost. He left the title. He left WrestleMania with no title. That meant he lost. The Mania before, at 39, he lost in the Triple Threat. Mania before that, Bobby Lashley lost to him. He needs this badly.
Listen, I remember our first wrestling podcast, the Royal Rumble podcast, and we were all giving our predictions for what we think Drew will do. We had Drew v Roman because he was feuding with the Bloodline at that time. We had Drew v Punk v Seth. We had him at the top of the card with all the main eventers. Come Rumble, he gets eliminated by Priest. No idea why that happened. We were like, okay, that's probably going to be his match at WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber, he gets rolled up by Priest. I've hated how they've booked Drew. He had an amazing feud with Punk. This year, he's doing absolutely nothing. Drew McIntyre is the kind of guy who'd give his absolute best to anything. I think he's doing his best to make this feud as good as it should be. I think they've built it well. The match will be... I think it'll be a good match, and I think Drew McIntyre absolutely has to win this match. if we have Cody retain, I think Cena will win. I think if Cody retains, Drew McIntyre should be the one who dethrones Cody. But I think Cena will win. We'll get on to that anyways.
I think Drew McIntyre has to win, and yeah, he's been done so dirty. Free Drew, man. And if WWE don't get their act together, Tony Khan will be paying this guy big bucks. Do you know what I mean? With Drew McIntyre, I personally wanted to see if they were going to do a triple threat main event. I think Drew, Seth, Punk made the most sense.
Bro, that was the one I
Definitely,
suggested on that Rumble
yeah.
prediction podcast. That was the perfect. That is literally the only triple threat that should be happening, or any multi. If you're gonna make a multi from before February, that is the only multi. McIntyre versus Rollins versus Punk. That was the only thing you should have done. None of this rain, no Reigns and favor bullshit. This is what should have happened, and I stand by it. By it. And it's no disrespect to Damian Priest, because I like Damian Priest. I think he's a good wrestler. He's good on the mic. He's just not on the same level as McIntyre for me. No way.
Listen, I have a scenario here. I think WWE need to make it up to Drew somehow, innit? Because he's just been doing so many favors for everyone else and WWE. If Drew wins this match, right, and I can see something like this playing out, yeah. Let's say Cena beats Cody and he has like a 6-month title run. And obviously, I think by the end of it, Cena is eventually going to go back to being a babyface, like people in the talking. Yeah. So that, what if The Rock sees Cena's like going back to the good side, and then The Rock recruits Drew McIntyre to be his new corporate guy, and Drew McIntyre is the guy that takes the belt of Cena. What do you guys think of that?
Bro, I've said it
That's
before.
amazing. Yeah.
I said it on the elimination preview. I said Drew McIntyre would be an amazing corporate heel. Amazing. Then you can revitalize the Punk McIntyre feud. That's a perfect way to revitalize it. You could even have that as a main event at WrestleMania. Both of them, the corporate versus straight edge. The one who's against all the authority, CM Punk, and he's got all the ties between The Rock as well. Like, there's so much more you can do with Drew McIntyre because of how versatile he is, because of the amount of characters that he can play, the way that he talks, the way that he even walks, bro. You look at him, aura, bro, and the way that he wrestles as well. And we're not just saying this because we're British. He is WWE's golden ticket. Out of every single superstar there, he's WWE's golden ticket to do whatever the hell they want. And they got him in a street fight with Damian Priest, bro.
He was the chosen one for a reason, innit?
And guess who chose him?
Yeah, I think we all agree Drew should win. Before we go into the main event, though, there is the question of Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I feel so sorry for Randy, man. I hate how Triple H books him. I'm sorry, but I do.
Bro, Survivor Series 2023, I think it was.
Yeah.
He returns. CM Punk comes back. Elimination Chamber, he returns. John Cena turns heel. What more can the man do? What more can he do, man?
I think Triple H is so jealous of Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's just way better than him in every department. Yeah. And Randy Orton, is a guy, like, as you said, he should have came back at the Royal Rumble, 2024 Rumble, and Punk should have been at the Survivor Series as the only return. I don't know what Triple H has against Randy, and he keeps using him as a guy to put over new stars. Now, I get it, he is at that age where he's the veteran now, but Randy's tough, man. Like, look at the crowd reactions he gets and his promos. Like, come on, man. They put him in a little tag team with Kevin Owens for a bit. Why do they keep putting Randy in tag teams? It's so annoying. And I mean, it's not really his fault. Kevin Owens got injured, but
shout out Kevin Owens, man. What a superstar.
I'm hearing names that his opponent should be Nick Aldis. Respect Randy Orton, man. Come on, people. Another thing I've heard, I think Danny said maybe he's going to get a mystery opponent like Seth got with Cody, and it's going to be a returning Aleister Black.
No one's going to really be that. No one's. You know what it is? Cody Rhodes. is on a different stratosphere to someone like Aleister Black. Like, you can't really put Aleister Black in the main event scene straight away. Like, you need someone
You know what would have been a good match, low key. I know they can't really build to it. Imagine Bron Breakker in a singles match with Randy Orton for the IC title. That would have been.
So I feel like Randy's been really unlucky. He was definitely going to win this match with the punt. I think they were going to give him his big win back. You know, he's been losing a lot. I've got a really, really, really good punt for him. What about if Jeff Hardy comes out? And you do Jeff Hardy with Randy Orton.
TNA, innit?
No, but they've got a partnership with WWE.
No, but that's what I'm saying. TNA, innit? That's the link that they've got, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. So
I don't want to see that in 2025. Jeff Hardy can barely move these days.
Oh, he's much better than Matt Hardy, and he can actually put a decent match up as well.
And you know what? To be honest, it's a Mania moment. Imagine you hear the
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a long match. But I don't think you know.
If you look at the other options,
You know what?
You've got Aleister Black, Rusev, and Nick Aldis. Do any of them really move you?
No, never.
Yeah.
I like Rusev. I love Rusev as much as the next guy, but yeah, I'm not. I like him. Rusev Day was his best. Friggin'.
Oh yeah, that was.
What if they just bring someone up from NXT?
Ethan
I wouldn't
Page.
mind that. An NXT debut.
Ethan Page.
Where's Matt Riddle these days?
Ethan Page could be a part of the Rock Cena stable.
Bro, Ethan Page is amazing. I love that guy. He's amazing talent.
Well, where's Matt Riddle these days? I'd give him a call up.
Matt Riddle.
Swear down.
For a one-off appearance, or just a one-off appearance.
Bro, imagine he just punk kicks Matt Riddle, the guy that left him. After that, you know, think about it. Randy Orton had his back broken in the match that he was with Riddle. Riddle comes back and gets his head kicked in, bro. Riddle's a free agent, no? I love Matt Riddle, man.
Matt Riddle has fumbled every opportunity he got. This guy they were gonna give him a match against Randy Orton for the championship at WrestleMania, and now I don't know where he is. He's probably dressing at some indie show. No clue.
Probably getting fucking wasted and high, but what's it called? I've got a suggestion actually for Randy Orton, but I'm gonna say it during the Cody Cena thing. So let's move on.
Let's just move on to that. So we got the final match, WrestleMania main event night 2 for the WWE Undisputed Championship, whatever the hell it's called, because they keep changing these titles these days. Defending champion Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, new look John Cena. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it here. I'm gonna say what everyone else is thinking. That heel turn was probably the greatest thing that we've seen in wrestling for a long, long time. In terms of its shock factor, in terms of the way it happened, the way that now that you look back on everything, the way it's built up is perfect. When Cena said, "I'm going to do everything I can at the Rumble," the way that he nearly beat Jey Uso up at the Rumble, then went to hug him, the way that he capitalized straight away and made Punk pass out. Why does it feel so shit now?
It's because
it doesn't feel so great.
He barely turns
I know he barely does that, and it feels like the whole European shows were based on his schedule. Because if it was in America, he wasn't turning up and straight. But it just makes it.
You know what it is? I think it's been a good heel turn, like promo-wise. He's been giving some amazing.
He's been brilliant. John Cena never disappoints in the promo.
It's the only thing they haven't addressed is why the fuck did he join The Rock? Like that whole thing is they've never addressed it. It doesn't make any sense. If he turned heel on his ones without The Rock there, then I'll say yeah, it's been good. But yeah, you're just scratching your head, innit? Like, why was Rock there? And now I'm even looking back. Travis Scott was so unnecessary for that. I don't like it now.
We were talking about every single possibility. Hollywood Cena, the Hollywood stable, the fact that you can bring someone like Ethan Page up into that stable, and other guys as well. And all of a sudden, we've just got John Cena in the same attire, the same music, which I kind of understand his reasoning for. The same.
You got a great promo on that. He's like,
No, you
I'm
got an
not.
amazing.
He's like,
I don't want to
he's
get
like,
back to your
I'm
fans.
not gonna change.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change my theme. I'm not gonna change my clothes. You people should change your clothes. You're the ones copying me.
Yeah, no, I like it. No, don't get me wrong. That was not. That was a great promo and all. But I just feel like there's nothing. There's been nothing there. Like Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes doesn't help himself either. Like he's just. I can't get. You can't get behind him as a face. He's like, guys, I'm gonna protect the people's belt. Like,
Have you guys noticed?
Man. Just lose, bruv.
Have you guys noticed? Yeah, they've been protecting Cody like mad. Like they've not
Bro,
really
if
let.
they let Cena off the leash, Cody Rhodes is finito, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro, Cody's he needs to thank the stars. Yeah, he's not been hit with the fine speech. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cody buffed in them. Cody rebutted. Cena said, "I know we're gonna say fine speech." In his first promo or something like that, but they need to address. There's got to be some way that they address The Rock, and 0.1% of me is hoping that he turns up on Friday Night SmackDown and just literally and does something. He's not going to do that though. I think he's going to be saved away from WrestleMania. He can just appear at Mania. Yeah, I know.
He is gonna. Have they announced he's gonna be at Mania, or are they keeping it secret?
Who? Rock.
The Rock. Yeah.
It'll be a secret.
They haven't announced it yet.
But yeah, I think the Cena promo was amazing. You see the kid. The kid's face was golden. The fat kid's face.
I rate him. He's made views off that. I rate it.
They show his face. Yeah, he's all happy and smiling, and then Cena like points him out. It's like you. he's like, oh mate. But listen. Do you think? Yeah, I've been seeing reports we're gonna get a Word Life entrance at Mania.
No, hell no. We're just going to get the same entrance that we've been getting the entire time. Cena's not going to do that. He's going to stay true to his character. Because why are we going to get Thugonomics? He's not going to give us something. His whole idea is, I'm not going to give you guys what you, which is Thugonomics and your heel entrance. I'm just going to be the same old John Cena, except I'm just going to treat you lot like shit the way you treated me like shit.
I love it, John.
Cody,
we all feel like John Cena sometimes, don't we? Tired of being the nice person, always goody two shoes.
Cody
sometimes
brought
you just
always letting things slide. Always letting things slide. Why not just go crazy?
Sometimes people deserve to just fucking get it back, innit?
Listen,
Good
Cody.
for you, John. I was cheering him on in his promos. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he'd hate you for that. He'd hate you. But I'm still loving him, bro. I don't care.
Cody brought the spinner belt to SmackDown. Imagine Cena wins and just pauses with the spinner belt.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. Let's talk about the actual match, yeah? Now, there's so many like crazy scenarios running through my head, yeah?
I think
if I'm Triple H, you fucked up last year not getting Austin, yeah? This year, you gotta throw the fucking bag at Austin. If Austin does not make an appearance to help Cody against The Rock and Cena, they're messing up big time. We need that showdown. It's going to be a WrestleMania moment. Can you imagine the stadium's going to go crazy when that glass shatters, man? We have to have it.
You know what it is? If that happens and The Rock comes back, and then you've got Austin helping Cody Rhodes, everyone will forget about the build-up.
Exactly.
About that match. Everyone will forget about the build-up. And I don't know if that's something that they're banking on. But you can only have Stone Cold Steve Austin show up if Cody Rhodes wins. It takes away from that moment.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think he has to win.
I think they should do something like this, yeah. Cody's getting the better of Cena. Let's say they both take the referee out and they both laid out. That's when The Rock comes out, yeah. And you just have Cena's like completely out of it, yeah. And then The Rock like is getting the belt, the Mama Rhodes thing, and he's like, "Come on, boy, get up!" And then the glass shatters, and then The Rock's face is like he's bewildered. He like takes off his glasses like in shock, and you have Austin come out and he just stunners him. I'm dying to see how The Rock in 2025 is gonna sell an Austin stunner. If he's gonna do the whole flip backwards all over the ropes, and then in that like little scruffle between Austin and The Rock, maybe you can have Cena just take advantage and like use a knuckle duster or some shit like that to just punch Cody and get the win.
And does
I
his
think
five
Cena
knuckle
has to win,
shuffle
man.
with the brass knuckles, and then
I think
LA's
Cena has to win, but I'm actually 50-50. I don't know, man. I can see them going with a Cody victory.
I've
don't know why.
had this theory since the Chamber. So I think they can have a normal match, decent match, and then Rock comes out, tries to help Cena win, and then, as Corby said, the glass shatters and Austin comes out. I think they both brawl with each other, maybe through the crowd or up the entrance. There's a ref bump. You think Cody's about to win, and then you get the mystery third person, which I'll be talking about this since the Chamber show we did. I think he helps Cena win, and at the end of the show, him and Cena stand tall. I think compared to last year where you got all the run-ins and Cody did win, I think this year they'll do a pump fake where people think, okay, Austin's here now, he's cancelled out Rock, they're gonna give Cody the win, but out of nowhere you get one more layer to the story where a third person comes and helps Cena win. I think that's the best scenario personally.
I think that third person cannot be someone like an Ethan Page. It's
No,
got to
no,
be
I know,
someone
yeah, it
that's
has to be
going
a
to
star.
cancel that. That's got to be the one
It's
that
gonna be
cancels it.
Solo.
And this is where
It's gonna be
Carpe.
Solo. It's gonna be Solo.
I don't
Okay,
think Randy.
my theory for the third man, yeah, I was gonna say this. What if it's Randy Orton?
Yeah, but then
Randy comes out.
Randy Orton is quite literally that kind of RKO Cena after the match is over anyway.
Imagine Randy comes out, yeah, and you think the master is here to save the apprentice, their best friend. Cody's gassed, and then you just see Orton just smile at the Rock, and he just RKO's Cody.
Bro, that would be crazy. That'd be crazy. Here's another thing that this is something that they will. You know what, you lot are talking about dream scenarios that are likely to happen. This is something that this is a 0.00, right? But I would love to see this happen. Okay, so The Rock comes in, and he turns on Cena, and Cody and Rock, and it's a double turn.
Double turn.
Maybe a double turn.
That would be sick. That would be sick.
That'd be insane, bruv. Imagine if you got that. Imagine if you had Cody and Cena double turn. So like how what was it? Rock and Hogan, was it? I think was that the match that they did the double turn.
It was Rock Austin.
Rock Austin. Yeah.
Rock Austin, sorry. Rock Austin, yeah. So it was basically the face and heel turn. Imagine that happens. Like, that would be... Fuck, bro. I'm telling you, that would be insane. They would never do that, but Triple H plays it safe. But if that happened, that would break the internet completely. And then you could have Cena... Then you could have Cena win it as a face properly and be like, look, guys, I'm so sorry. I was lost in the way that I was, and everyone would forgive him, and then you could literally have Cody Rhodes as a heel throughout that entire time, and then literally stop Cena from winning it again.
You know what?
And then that would be so sick, but no one to fucking do it. They're never gonna do it. And I'm okay with that.
What if the third man, now this is what we call a pump fake. What if Austin comes out, yeah, and you think he's there to save Cody and he just stuns Cody?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That'd be sick.
And that's not going to happen realistically. But you know what, Hazard? I love that scenario. If I was Vince McMahon, would have done it. I think. Actually, he wouldn't have. Cody's too much of a star. But you know what? They could do a storyline like that because. Have you seen Cody's interview recently when he's like, I've got aspirations to be in Hollywood?
Yeah, I've seen that.
All you Cody crybabies out there, yeah, crying about him last year, or he should be in the main event, and you took away the dream match, Rock Roman, for us, and this guy doesn't even love WWE like that. He wants to go to fucking Hollywood as well. You Cody crybaby, Sophia and 22. But yeah, imagine they do that where Cody. He joins The Rock and he goes, I want to be in Hollywood and The Rock's going to get me into Hollywood, all the movies. That's it. And then Cena has turns back to a babyface when he's like, oh, I've been there, Cody. But like something like that, innit? It would be good. I reckon that would be sick.
See,
Cody
I like
doing a
Poppy's
double
theory
turn.
where Randy turns on Cody and then we can get Randy Cody feud throughout the summer and then Cena can face someone else. I don't know. That was a good theory. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine they just do a boring fucking Cody beating Cena. That would be the
Nah.
worst possible
It
scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Miz versus Cena WrestleMania 27, bro. Imagine if that shit happens.
I
Oh
think,
my
I
god.
think, I think similar to last year's main event, this has to have lots of shenanigans. Because let's be real, yeah, Cena's washed in it. I don't think he's going to be able to be putting on a classic. So this match has to
He
be
was
live.
good. You know what it is? He was actually quite good in the Elimination Chamber.
Him and
But
Punk-
him and
That was
CM
five.
Punk.
That was 5 minutes. That was a 5 minute
No.
sequence.
No, I know. Yeah, but the thing is, I was just about to touch on the fact that him and CM Punk are wrestling soulmates anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah. I think this has to have lots of interferences and like gimmicks and stuff.
yeah, that'll make it a really good main event. Like Danny said at the top of the show, Triple H has been really good at pay-per-view, and he doesn't really miss, to be honest, on most of them. I think there's probably like 2 or 3 I've been disappointed with, and ever since he's took over, and that's a lot of pay-per-views. But I think the way that he's built up the card has been quite disappointing. But if he can deliver on, all anyone's gonna remember is the main event of night 2.
Yeah.
That's literally anyone's gonna remember that. If you ask me about any matches, all I'm gonna tell you is Sammy versus Gunther and that main event night 1 tag match.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can remember from last year.
It's how you leave them.
All
innit?
anyone
It's how you leave
exactly
them.
that's the impression that you leave on each WrestleMania. How good was the main event or main events in each WrestleMania? Because no one's gonna care about whatever happened before. It's gonna be what is the outcome? Where does it lead to? This is why this main event is arguably the most important of all time. Last year, you knew Cody Rhodes was going to win. That was a foregone conclusion. This one changes the landscape of WWE forever. I'm not even trying to take the piss because it's either John Cena wins number 17, or he's got to chase it somehow somewhere else. You know, does he win it as a face? Does he win it as a heel? Where does Cody go after this? What does Cena do after this? Like, it was easy predictable what was going to happen last year and the year before.
Yeah, so I think
It's
Cena
so
will
big.
win.
It's big. It needs a big impact.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cena as well. I think Cena has to win, otherwise the heel turn's pretty pointless.
Yeah, me too.
Unless they do what Hazard says, they do a double turn, then I'll be happy with Cody winning.
That's
But
never
Yeah,
happening.
that
That's never
double
happening.
turn, literally just came to my mind, like as you lot were talking about it. It's not something but I'm only going to be happy with a Cody win if they do that double turn. Other than that, I think, nah. You know what? I'm going with John Cena. I'm not going to second guess I think John Cena takes. He takes the win, but him winning 17 as a heel.
It makes it better, man. It makes it better.
I confirms it. Yeah, I do. Part of me does wish that he did it against Gunther. Like, imagine if he won 17 against Gunther. That'd be sick. And did it at SummerSlam, lost it, and then did it at SummerSlam. That'd be sick. But
Yeah, that's about it.
John Cena. Any final thoughts, boys? Go to
yes.
Carpe.
Fuck the weekend and fuck Cody Rhodes. That's it.
Danny?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a good show. Fed FC on top.
Yeah, Fez. And I got nothing else to say except subscribe, sponsor us. Please like and subscribe, etc. Follow everything that we've done here. Hopefully Danny's recorded everything properly. We've given him the responsibility. We've been giving him the keys now. I'm Triple H and the authority, and he's the new Seth Rollins. He's got the money in the bank briefcase, and he's going to be carrying himself around everywhere. We are the authority.
Get us to 200 subs.
Oh, please get us to 200 subs. Oh my god, I'm telling you, that'd be so sick. Follow us on TikTok. Don't follow us on Twitter because I think Carpe runs the account. Guy tweets nothing these days. But yeah, guys, thank you. That's WrestleMania preview and predictions. I didn't even know WrestleMania was this weekend, to be honest. So, you know, have a good one, guys. Take care.